What is up, everybody? Tuboverse TV today. So Phil Spencer has done an interview where he's talking about Sony strategy with major single-player AAA blockbuster games, and then the Sony fan base. It is shown with this recent controversy on Twitter that they obviously can't read because they didn't. None of these people obviously read the article. When Phil Spencer said he doesn't want to copy Sony's strategy with single-player blockbuster games, he literally meant he didn't want to copy the same games that Sony has. But the fanboys in the comment section says this Phil Spencer just wants to give you low quality games, nothing that's gonna be spectacular. They didn't read this whatsoever. So that's the narrative they're trying to push. This Phil Spencer doesn't want to try with Xbox. They're not trying to make any type of big bangers, so to say, or blockbuster games. But we read the actual article. Like with the actual article, just click on it and just read it yourself. But I will give you a synopsis, a brief summary of what he's talking about. We're going to skim through this a little bit. Because titles like Uncharted, The Last of Us, Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, Ratchet & Clank, Marvel Spider-Man, and Ghost of Tsushima are cited as the pillars behind the success of the PlayStation 4 and 5. And then we go down to his actual statement. Our strategy is not just to be like someone else. I get a push sometimes of where's your version of that or that, your version of this or that game. I've been in the industry for a long time. I have a ton of respect for creators on all platforms, and I know many of them. But it's good if we do something different than other platforms are doing. So he doesn't want an exact copy of The Last of Us. He doesn't want an exact copy of Horizon Zero Dawn. He doesn't want an Xbox version of God of War. He doesn't want an Xbox version of Ratchet & Clank. He doesn't want an Xbox version of Marvel Spider-Man or an Xbox version of Ghost of Tsushima. He wants to do his own thing. Xbox wants to do their own thing. And let's read the comments because people were just losing in the comment section. So he says, and he don't need every game to be the same old stale garbage. For those who are wondering what he means and those who fell for the clickbait, he wants more variety instead of 5 third-person linear titles. He wants to have 5 different games, including racers, RPGs, FPS, and third-person linear games. Well, we know Game Pass games be 60 to 70 rated on average on Metacritic, LOL. If you ignore the headline and actually read the article, you'll find out that what he says makes total sense. Microsoft should not copy Nintendo or Sony or anyone else. They shouldn't be a green version of PlayStation. That's why they're focusing on their own identity. Executive speech, just in case those big single-player promise and bet such fable, avowed and perfect dark fail. What the F are you talking about? Did you read the article? He says they want their own identity. None of these people read the article. Like, they're so slow. They're just showing how slow these guys are. They don't even read articles. They just go with the headline, the clickbait headline title. They're not reading. They didn't read. None of these people read the article whatsoever. They want to make mid to low level Destiny knockouts and free to play games. Let me see. I mean, Xbox is kind of cool because the Game Pass thing, but Sony just makes the better exclusive games, and they're mostly single player. Sony games are boring movie-like experiences, hence why 120 million PS4 sold, and the average Sony exclusive sells like 10 million. Can he at least try? I feel like such a major genre they're missing from Xbox Game Pass. He can't make Game of the Year / generation defining games. If that's what you got from this, then I'm sorry, it's too late for you, because they obviously can't read. It's like, and nothing about what he said makes this comment even make sense, but these Sony guys just don't read. That's like, geez. They need to make a reading game for a lot of these Sony. They need to make a reading exclusive type of game where the actual Sony gamers actually can read articles. They need to do that instead. Sounding like Xbox can even compete with Sony when it comes to single-player blockbuster games, that is one area Microsoft will never be able to touch Sony in. It's not even hate, it's just a fact. Sony dares are untouchable when it comes to single-player blockbuster experiences. Not really, but okay. If I got the opinion, but not really. AA garbage incoming. Yep, all AA. Yep, nothing screams triple AA like Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6. Like they were having a meltdown over Starfield being exclusive. It's not that they don't want to, it's that they can't. Xbox makes different types of games than PlayStation does, so I get it. Honestly, good because it would get boring if everyone had to conform to a single formula. You could tell somebody read the article and actually guess what he's talking about. Um, Xbox does need single player blockbuster games. There are so many multiplayer games out there, and nothing can really compete with Warzone, Fortnite, and Battlefield. But who knows what holds in the future for Xbox? Maybe you go third party and put everything on everything else. That's why Xbox games have been lame for all those years. Man, y'all should be complaining about those Xbox games, but y'all be begging for these Xbox games being on y'all platform, though. That's interesting. Um, yeah, these guys are just slow. Like these comments are just slow. For those taken out of context, it's about genre diversity. Xbox would make some third-person single-player adventure games, but also races, FPS, Western RPG, strategy, etc. Games with a decent multiplayer, things others don't have. So you want to keep producing us, and y'all wonder why Xbox gets stopped every single generation. Shaking my head. Another person who couldn't read the article. Look at the comments. People yelling at the void, unable to read the article. I wish people on the internet would learn how to read facts. Jeez. I would. If I was, I would give this comment a like. I'm mad you can't do more than that, because jeez, these people really need to learn how to read. It's just telling all the Sony fanboys can't read. This is why you have both consoles if you can afford them. Xbox has great value with Game Pass and has a handful of nice first-party IPs. With PlayStation, you got those bangers people talk about. The replies in this thread once more makes me realize the level of reading comprehension of our gaming community. It's quite sad, actually. I like Xbox and PS5, but I think this is a silly statement, lol. This makes some good theatrical, fun, exclusive single-player games, man. That's not a specific strategy. That's what they're doing. They don't want to just be a cookie-cutter copy of Sony games. It's like, jeez. Can he copy that game did quality, though? It was a damn shame to get a whole gen without even a nominee. Small 5-hour campaigns from now on in Halo and Gears, that's sad. But buy studios to make single-player blockbuster games. AA shovelware, a few AAA games based on games of service, episodic, seasonal, microtransactions, free-to-play battle passes, rinse and repeat. Of course not. That's why there isn't much to talk about with them. I'm glad all these Sony fanboys chimed in because it just shows you that they really can't read. It's like the typical Sony fanboys you see. I probably did videos about before. They all chimed in on this because they obviously can't. Their reading comprehension is very, very low. This is code for we don't have the resources to compete with Sony because of the financial limitations of Game Pass. Where did he say any of this at? Like, where did he get any of this stuff at? Didn't read this. Most of these guys do. You're not alone. Most of the Sony fanboys did read it, so at least you admitted it. But if you did say it's great, thank the gaming guys. He's not on big homie Halo. We don't want that BS over here. This is the right approach. Xbox has a unique identity and can work on its strengths to make its own identity. For those who are wondering what he means and those who fell for the clickbait, he wants more variety instead of. I think I read this one already. Reading comprehension is at an all-time low. It definitely is, man. It definitely is an all-time low of these Sony fanboys. More empty words from the snake oil salesman. He was the same one who said they didn't have an Uncharted, so they ran Money Had It Tomb Raider. Okay. They need to capitalize on the lack of actual Western RPGs currently in gaming. There's a huge market clamoring for them. They are doing that. Like, what are you talking about? They are doing that. They do have Western RPGs on Xbox. That's exclusive. I don't know what he's talking about with that. Yeah, so I'm gonna include it right here. This shows you even more that Xbox is just trying to diversify from Sony. They're not trying to make the same cookie cutter games. But this also shows me that in the gaming community or these people on Twitter, they have a very low reading comprehension level. So maybe that's why it's just a good amount of content on Twitter, because these people can't read read articles at that. So I'm gonna conclude it right here. Definitely see your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you like this video. As always, thanks for watching and peace.